What is going on, everybody? It's Dylan from Redline here, back with another video. We are currently in the process of turning $500 into an exotic car by means of buying, selling, trading cars. Now, we started ultimately with $500 and slowly worked our way all the way up to about $29,750. In our last video, I had an absolutely sweet GTI 337 edition. Ended up selling that, made about $1,200 on the car. So we're over the 30K mark now. In that video featuring the GTI, I showed a little preview of this. I actually picked this car up the day that I filmed that. This is a 1991 Mazda Miata, kind of similar to the one I had about 2 videos ago. However, this one, she has about 240,000 miles on it. The Miata that I had before this one only had about 50,000 miles, like I said before. This one is sitting at about 240, so 5 times the miles. However, the reason that really sold me on this car is it came with an OEM hardtop, and for the price, I just couldn't pass on it. Now, you're probably thinking to yourself, Dylan, what are you thinking? It's November, we're heading into winter, and here I am with the top down, driving a fun toy and trying to flip it. So what the heck am I thinking? Well, to be quite frank, I got too good of a deal on it to pass up. If you're familiar with Miatas at all, you know what these OEM hardtops go for on these cars. I typically sell them anywhere from $1,500 to $2,500. So, with the hardtop and the car all together, I paid $3,500. And those hardtops usually sell super duper quick. So I'm going to get that posted. I already have it off the car because I always sell the hardtop separate. You get more money that way. Hence the soft top being down and the car being photographed this way. Now, as soon as I get back to my place, I'll give you guys a look at that hardtop. I have it sitting on one of my hardtop stands in my garage, ready for whoever's going to buy it. Now, these hardtops are actually made out of fiberglass, and a lot of them crack and have flaws and flake and just all kinds of issues cosmetically. This one's pretty darn mint, so should sell pretty quick. But back to the car itself, I paid $3,500 for this beast. Overall, really not that bad. I got it off an older dude. Thankfully, he kept up on maintenance and everything. It has a recent timing and water pump service, a recent clutch job, tires are good, brakes feel okay. Really, the only flaw mechanically, the shifter's a little sloppy. They sell rebuild kits for these cars, which I contemplated doing, but I'm going to sell this cheap enough where it's not really any point in doing it. Or someone who purchases it can just throw a short throw in it. It doesn't grind any gears. It shifts smooth. So it didn't really bother me. And it's also like a high mile Miata, so stuff like that is to be expected. Now, cosmetically speaking, if you guys saw my last video regarding 90s Mazda White, it's crap, to be quite frank. This car, truthfully, doesn't have as many flaws as that other one did. I had to, like, repaint half the car on the old one. This one, it's got little, like, stains in it. It's kind of hard to pick up on camera. It's not really noticeable unless you're in, like, direct sunlight. A little bit of clear coat damage back here. There it goes. In terms of rust, the underside's absolutely spotless. We do have a little rust on the back of the rocker right here. That is from the drains to the top getting clogged up, not actual rust. The frame and everything is spotless underneath. Come to this side, not really any paint flaws with the trunk or anything. This side, actually the clear coat's still intact, which is surprising. This rocker, pretty clean. It's got a little bit of bubbling on the bottom starting, but when it's like this on this car, it's still savable. I'm not going to do anything with it because, like I said, the price I'm going to sell this at, someone's going to get a killer deal on a cheap Miata and do whatever they wish. The car is also pretty much entirely stock. The only thing the guy really did, he threw some aftermarket chrome wheels. Not really a big chrome guy, but those look really good on the car in my opinion. And it has an aftermarket head unit, Pioneer. So pretty much stock Miata. If you're familiar with the platform, you know there's not too many problems that really occur with these cars. Doesn't have any lift or tick. It runs, drives, shifts, stops as it should. So should be an easy sale. The only thing that would really probably inhibit me from selling this pretty quick would be that we are heading into winter time. Now, I've sold many, many toys in winter, whether it's snowing, beautiful, whatever the weather may be. I've personally been able to never have a problem with selling toys, but that may shoo away a few potential buyers. It is November here, November 8th as I'm filming this, and the sky is actually very clear for Ohio, and surprisingly enough, the sun's out. Usually this time of the year, it's all gray and nasty and muggy. Needless to say, hopefully it does not have an effect on selling the car, but like I said, I price my stuff to sell quick. I know the market on these pretty well. If anyone local ever needs a Miata, they come to me. So should be able to not have any problem selling it. Also, forgot to mention another flaw. The seat right here on the bolster is torn. Figure someone will just throw a seat cover or even put a replacement seat in. They're only like 50 bucks. But yeah, other than that, the interior is actually really nice. Also, shout out to the previous owner for actually taking care of the car and detailing it. I don't even have to clean the car. That is mind-blowing. Every car I usually get, especially in the Flip series, it's thrashed. I gotta sweep it out. It's all about presentation, but he actually did a very good job keeping the car clean. Now, I absolutely jumped on this deal as soon as I seen it on Marketplace. I messaged the guy. It was only listed for 5 minutes. He told me I was the very first one to message him, and as soon as it popped up, I went, bought it, and didn't hesitate. I actually paid full asking price for it just because it was too good of a deal to pass up, and as I was sitting there, his phone was going crazy, so I'm like, okay, let me just hurry up, snag this thing, and get out of here. So here we are. I'm gonna take this over, get some pictures of it. My photograph spot is like way over there. I'm gonna go all the way around the car. I'll show you guys the angles I take and get her listed up. For those of you who are wanting to get into selling cars or even want to sell your personal car, I always recommend getting photos all the way around. So I'll do this 3/4 angle. I'll do the front of the car. I'll do this angle right here. You're gonna do both sides straight on. The back 3/4, the very back of the car, and then same thing for this side. On cars that are prone to rust problems like these, or like say cat eye Chevys or anything like that, I always photograph the rockers. I take pictures of the underside. Be sure to get a bunch of pictures of the interior, all different angles, so people can see what they're getting into. Take pictures under the hood. If you have the owner's manual and multiple keys, take a picture of that. Just anything that anyone might want to know. Inside the trunk. I always say try and photograph a car as if you're buying a car. So if you have a bunch of pictures, people will know what they're getting into and they won't waste your time typically. So yeah, let's go over, get some pictures of this thing and try and decide what we're going to list it for. I'm thinking about posting the car truthfully up for like $47.50-ish out the door, maybe somewhere in that ballpark. See what it ends up selling for. I don't need to get a crazy amount of profit on the car itself because we still have the hard top. I know those hard tops bring anywhere from $1,500 to $2,000. So even if I sold the car for what I paid for it, $3,500, and sold the hard top for $2K, there's a $2,000 profit right there for minimal work. Cool thing about the hard tops, they kind of sell themselves. A lot of Miata owners, including myself, aren't a fan of the top down look. You want a hard top. It actually adds rigidity to the car, technically makes the car safer, and overall just makes it look better, personally speaking. So let's go get our listing photos. I'll show you guys how it came out and head back, show you guys the hard top, and hopefully this thing sells pretty darn quick. Also, if you're ever unsure if you'll fit in a Miata or not, for reference, I'm 6'1", about 210, and it is a little snug, but I do fit. I actually have a personal Miata that I own. On my car, I smoothed out the door cards, so it's like an aluminum door card. It's all flat, and got rid of my center console. And you have a ton more room. Also, my seat is bolted directly to the floor, and I have a smaller steering wheel for more leg space. Now, people always joke with me and ask me why I'm into Miatas. The funny thing is, my very first Miata, I actually got in a bundle deal with another car that I was buying to sell, and I just fell in love with them after that. There's something about these cars. They're not fast by any means. They're just incredibly fun to drive, and you're able to drive them at like full throttle all the time. You don't have to worry about getting in trouble. They handle good. From the factory, they have almost 50-50 weight distribution. In terms of a toy, they're very cheap. They're easy to fix. They're super reliable. There's a crazy cult following with these cars. They're just kind of cool in general. I don't know. And all of this is coming from someone who's primarily into American muscle and German cars. So I've learned in my time of being into cars to appreciate any and every type of car, whether it be fast, slow, slams, a truck, motor swap, literally anything. If it's automotive, I like it. Also, nothing beats driving a Miata on a nice day with the top down. Super comfy. And when the breeze goes through your hair, it's awesome. Especially banging gears. I apologize for the leaf blowing going on in the background, but here is that hardtop that came with the car. Factory white. No defrost, no headliner. It was a base optioned hardtop, but there you go. I also have another hardtop for sale if anyone's looking. It's Laguna Blue. But yeah. All right, y'all, I'm heading over now to meet someone to pick up the hardtop, and then in an hour, I have someone coming to pick up the Miata, hopefully. So let's see if we get both these sold. Not sure if I already mentioned it or not. I posted the Miata for $4,500 out the door. If it sells for full asking price, that'll have me about $4,250 plus tax. So I'll be pocketing about $4,250. And I had the hardtop listed for $1,850 or $1,900. So I can't remember what I told the guy, honestly. I have to check my messages. But either one of those, I'd be very, very happy. The gentleman for the hardtop's actually coming from like 5 hours away. He said he couldn't find the color he was looking for anywhere near him, and I had the white hardtop, so here he comes. All right, everyone, good news. The Miata and the hardtop are both sold. The first gentleman came to check out the hardtop, loved it. I gave him $100 off on it. I had it listed for $1,850. I ended up selling it for $1,750. Quick, easy sale, in and out. He bought it, loved it, was happy. Right after that, I mean, as he was getting ready to leave, the guy pulled in for the Miata. They actually came up from Columbus. It was a dad and a son. The son was probably 16 or 17, definitely in high school, he said, and was looking for his first project car. And in my opinion, there's no better first project car than an NA Miata. They're cheap, easy to fix. The list goes on. Easy to modify, good to learn. It's a good platform to learn. So they ended up buying it. I had it listed for $4,500 out the door. They paid full asking price. That full asking price includes tax, title tags, all that jazz. Like you guys have seen in previous videos, I do have my dealer's license. So that had me walking away with about $4,250. So when it was all said and done, we purchased the Miata for $3,500. I ended up selling the Miata itself for $4,250 plus tax, title tags, and the hardtop for $1,750. So I ended up making a pretty nice come up. Profit on the Miata itself came out to about $750 plus the $1,750 from the hardtop. That has us sitting around $2,500 profit. And for one car with not doing anything to it, can't complain. Now, in case you guys missed the last video, I took my first loss on a car. Thankfully, it was only $300, and I kind of got away much better than what I anticipated to do. Lost $300 on that. So after all said and done with this, the loss from the last video, the GTI and everything, we are now up to $33,750 in the challenge. While we were sitting here, as you can see, I got ACV pulled up. I just won the next car. I'll give you guys a quick look at it before the next video. If you made it this far, obviously you get a little preview. So check out what I bought. Here we have a 2003 Audi TT 225 edition being sold from a new car dealer, Audi of Bedford. This is a 6-speed manual, one owner, clean title, obviously a 225 edition. I'm going to get more in depth on this car in the next video, but here's a little preview. I'll get into what I paid for it and everything in the next video and go a little more in depth with it. With all that being said, thank you again, guys, for tuning into the video. We are sitting at $33,750 minus whatever I just paid for that TT. We're growing in this challenge, and we're going to complete this thing. So stay tuned for the next video. I'm going to go pick up the TT, give you guys my reaction to it, and hopefully the thing turns out decent. From the looks of the auction, car looks pretty freaking nice. So should be a nice, easy sale for the winter here in Ohio, and we will go from there. So we're just going to keep on grinding this challenge. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning into the channel, liking, commenting, subscribing. It means the world to me, seriously. So thank you from the bottom of my heart.